Good afternoon, I'm Nicolas Samannidi, and today I will show you a brief discussion about the state of my work for my music industry brief module. As the brief requires, we are talking about A Tape for Jendo, a radiophonical drama made by BBC about girls missing on a train. I'm making the A type of the exam. The discussion will explore all the main aspects of the writing process, like harmony, melody, lyrics, production and arrangement. Let's start with the harmony, that is made at 90% because I have the final chords, but I want to work a little bit more on it to chords voicing and chord extensions. About the harmony development, at first I wanted to do something inspired by trip hop and Angelo Badalamenti's works, in particular on the A Secret of Twin Peaks soundtrack. I've made some ideas with this style, but I got stuck with these ideas and I can't get over. So after the classroom work with our teacher and the special guest for our lessons, PG, I decided to make something more simple. So I completely threw off those ideas and make something new. And so I started to do something new, remembering to make it simple, because I'm not a professional songwriter, so I have to work with simple elements, the simple elements they already know. And I made some research, more research, and I found some new inspirations like 80s horror and thriller movie soundtrack, British synth pop music, and British new wave music. And I got the final idea for the harmony, but now I will make you listen. This is the verse. And now this is the chorus progression for the chorus. And the chords, as you can see right here, for the verse have a bar of A minor, a bar of D minor, half a bar of C major, the other half of G major, and another bar of A minor, while the chorus chords are a bar of A minor, a bar of E minor, F major, and another bar of A minor, and then the ascending chords F, G, and A minor, and again F, G, and G7. The final G7 is to provide a suspension effect that will resolve on the A minor of the next verse. I made, after the harmony, I hypothesized a structure made of intro, verse, another verse, and the first chorus. Then the second verse, the second chorus, a repetition of the second chorus or a reprise of the ascending chords, and then the outro. With this structure, song will be approximately around 3 minutes and a half, as the brief requires. Now let's talk about melody. Melody are made of 50% because at the moment I need a melody for the verse and a melody for the chorus. But at the moment I don't really have a verse melody. I'm still working on it, on some ideas. But I have an idea about the chorus melody that is quite finished, but I want to work on it a little more, and now I will make you listen. That was the chorus melody. Now let's talk about lyrics. They are made 20%. For the lyrics, I will focus on the main themes of the story, like mystery, secrets, a dark atmosphere, melancholy and sad mood, and suspicion and tension. To avoid to explain any aspect of the plot, as required by the brief, I started experimenting with the cut-up technique, popularized by William S. Burroughs. With this kind of writing technique, I will provide some more mysterious and poetical kind of lyrics. This writing method has been used in the past by other famous songwriters like David Bowie in the 50s, Ian Curtis of Joy Division, Tom York of Radiohead, and Kurt Cobain of Nirvana. Here there are a couple of links which I've documented about the cut-up technique, and that's the first attempt of writing with this technique. I made a short piece of lyrics, writing some words or short phrases on a piece of paper. I made all small pieces of paper and put it in a hat, and then extracted like the lottery, as Tom York did for the "Everything is in the right place" lyrics. He wrote the lyrics with this method, and that's what came for it. The phrases are kind of apparently random made, and they really are, but these provide more mystery, more sense of uneasiness on the lyrics. Now let's talk about the production and arrangement. Production arrangement is made at 10% because I have some ideas, but for the moment they are only ideas because I have to finish to write music. And after some listening and some research, I had some ideas, like for example a large use of synthesizers, because all of the story happens in the 80s, in 1984 precisely. So the music has to refer to the historical period, so the synthesizers are the most important and iconic instrument of the 80s. So I will use them like pads, arpeggiators, or synth bass line. I'm considering also the use of samples, like a train sound or a cassette sound at the beginning and the end of the song, and also Christmas bells, because the story is around Christmas in winter time, so this will refer to the period of the story. I'm also thinking about the use of long delays and reverbs, because they provide a lot of space and ambient, but they are really long and wet. They give to the song more darker atmosphere, more mysterious. And I think also about to not use drums, because if I don't use drums, this will emulate a sort of suspended tempo. So I don't know if to use them or not, but if I will use them, there will be surely electronic drums, because it's more 80s. In this final slide you can see the working process. I divided the working process in 6 steps that are research, harmony, melody, lyrics, production, and final recordings. At the moment I am quite at the half of the process, because I've made the research, the harmony, and I'm working on the melody, so I'm quite at the half of the progress. And those are the percentage of the work. Harmony is made at 90%, structure 95%, melody 50%, lyrics 20%, production and arrangement 10%, and final recordings is 0, because I have to finish the song. So at the moment this is the actual state of the work. That was all. Thank you for your time.
Okay. My first question is about the resolution from G7 to A minor. Do you think that this resolution gives to you enough of the feeling you need?
Yes, because a full bar of G7, it's a long period for a suspension, and then the song, in my idea of arrangement, will stop. So it's suspended, and then it restarts on the A minor, because G7 wants to resolve or on F, but it's an F major, so will not be so kind of sad, or on an A minor, and it will resolve on an A minor, because it's the first chord of the next verse. and also is a minor chord, so provides the sort of sad feeling that I'm searching for the song.
Mhm. You said at the you starting your discussion saying that you are changing your idea about the breed of the entire pieces from trip hop kind of genre to what?
Now the inspirations I'm using for doing this is, as I said, the 80s horror and thriller movie soundtrack, like for example Nightmare, that has a great soundtrack made only with synthesizers, or also John Carpenter's films that have a soundtrack made completely by synthesizers, and also the Stranger Things soundtrack. It's not an 80s kind of TV show, but is a lot inspired by the 80s. Yeah,
It's set in the 80s.
it's set in the 80s. Okay, so those are now inspiration. Banalmente, and quindi so Twin Peaks remains a fundamental inspiration, mainly for the sounds. Because the sounds, even if Twin Peaks is made in 1990, I think, but the sounds are the iconic synth sounds of the 80s.
Okay. Could you please come back with your slide to the lyrics?
Yes.
And could you explain a little more your technique?
Yes, the Gadap technique is a writing method introduced by the Dadaist poets in the late 20s, but it became popular with William S. Burroughs, that was a poet of the Beat generation. He used in the late 50s and early 60s. He had this period in which he used this writing method for his books, and they was a great inspiration for a lot of musicians, like I said, Ian Curtis, Tom York, and David Bowie. I wanted to use this method because I'm not a lyric writer, so I usually write music, instrumental parts, so I was looking for a writing method. And I remembered about this method because I'm a fan of Radiohead and Joy Division, and I remembered that Tom York and Ian Curtis were heavily inspired by Bollocks. So I decided to start experimenting with this technique, and at the moment I think it's the right way. I feel positive about that because even if all the lyrics are random, they...
So you put some lyric in little piece of paper.
Obviously, the words I wrote on these pieces of paper are referred to the general atmosphere of the story.
Could you please read the first
yes.
lyrics you put together?
Yes.
Almost random.
This is a little bit worked on it because you extract the words and they are completely random, so you have to work a little bit on it.
So you work with some method in the method. Okay.
After you extracted the words, you work a little more because there's not words like and or to or in, so you have to put them and make all the phrase a little bit of more sense.
90% random and 10% some work.
Yes, I think like 20% of
80-20.
80-20, yes.
Please.
Dark places, I'm endangered, tears upon my face. Tonight, dark places, tonight.
Are you afraid of the random part of this method?
No,
Don't you think this kind of method can bring you some other where?
Not really, because at first it is funny. It's a funny method to write lyrics because it's completely random, and I'm not afraid because I'm a little bit improving the method to make it more precise. I'm working on it. I'm starting to read Burroughs books and some example of this kind of writing. So I'm now improving my method. But if all the words are referred to the kind of atmosphere you want to bring, this will not overdrive you on a wrong way.
Okay. And my last question is about the production thing. Could you come back with your slide on the production and arrangement? I think that by now your music is 99% electronic.
Yes.
Do you think you are going to put some real instrument on it?
I'm thinking about that because I'm a guitarist, so I want to put a little bit of my instrument on this mix. But I'm still thinking on the role the guitar has to have in this kind of arrangement. Maybe something really small, a small contribute, because the main instruments will be synthesizers. Because this kind of music will be electronic, will be more 80s, and
But maybe too much cold, or not?
That's the kind of approach I want, because a cold arrangement will remind the cold of the situation of the Newcastle station in winter near Christmas. So it kind of remind these feelings.
Okay. Okay, I think you are doing a great job. But try to think also that creepy feelings, fears, maybe are not directly referred to cold, but it's something hot.
Like
At the
strings.
opposite. I don't know what. It's up to you find what. But I think that I agree with you when you say that cold arrangement reminds to us the situation. But I think that also the feeling you want to let come up are referring with something hot. I think that creepy, mysterious, afraid are feelings referring to something hot too. You can think about it, and maybe you come up with a great solution.
Maybe this could be the role of the guitar in
Maybe.
the mix.
Maybe, why not? Why not? Okay, it's okay for me. Thank you.
Thank you.